Hi, I'm Crystal Lyons, and this is Cowgirl Logic. I went through a time in my life right before I married Ray that I lost everything. I had a 40-acre farm. I was hauling cattle at sale barn and working sale barn, breaking colts, and everything started falling apart like a $2 watch. And my farm was auctioned off on the courthouse square. Had no truck. I had nothing. I mean, I'd sold almost every stick of furniture to try to save it, sold all my horses. Nothing could pull it out. And so anyway, Ray and I got married, and we ain't got a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of, okay? And we're down at Keller, Texas. There was a lady that was good enough to let us live in this little, we called it a tin can, this little, we fixed it cute, but a little tiny trailer, you could fling a marble from one end to the other. And but we got that for free to live in so that I fed her horses and stuff. Ray was laying tile, and people would come by and pick him up and take him to work. And I was breezing her. She had a little racetrack on her place, and I was breezing her horses for her, and I got paid for that. All right, so with that in mind, I get asked to ride again at the National Finals Rodeo. This is 1987. I rode a bull in 86. In 87, they asked me to come back and get on a bronc, and it was where they had 6 cowgirls to come, 3 to ride bulls, 3 to ride broncs. It was Jim Sutton's idea called Beauty and the Beast during the crowning of Miss Rodeo America. Anyway, so it'd pay $500 for me to come, I mean, $500 isn't even hardly going to get your fuel to go out there and back. But hey, none of us going to turn that down. I mean, that was like, wow. And so the problem is, so we accepted that. Ray entered the Buck and Bull sale out there. And we are 3 days away from having to head out to make it to Vegas in time for this. And we don't have a car. We ain't got anything to drive. And the problem with this is, because here I'd been on my own for a while, and I had a flatbed 4-wheel drive dually with a, toolbox on the back and a good looking pit bull truck that rode back there. And I mean, you think you're hot snot on a wooden stick, and I'd been used to just, that was cool. Okay. In my mind, that was all cool. And all of a sudden I don't have anything. I have nothing to show for anything. And, so we need a car or a truck, and we're praying for it and everything. We're asking the Lord, to get us. I'm asking him for a pickup truck. Well, while I'm breezing these horses on this racetrack, on the back side of that track, somebody had a Toyota Corolla or Corona, I don't remember, a station wagon. It was a Toyota station wagon that was red, but it had been parked in the Texas sun long enough to be basically pinkish. And it was horrible looking, and there was weeds growing up around it, and they had it for sale. Well, every time I'd ride by there, I'd be breezing the horses by there, and I'd go, no, God, no, you wouldn't do that. Get a cool, old, rusty pickup truck, anything but that. And so I wouldn't tell Ray, because I knew he'd be all excited and he'd want to buy it. Now, I didn't want to be seen in that car, all right? In my pride, I didn't even, when you're full of pride, for what reason? What did I have to be proud of? I just lost everything. I think that's a lot of it, is that you cling to pride when you've lost everything because you want to keep an image that's not you or something. I don't know. But I was overloaded. I was, foundered in pride right there. And so I didn't tell him until we're 3 days away, and it's either that or don't go. And so I finally told Ray, there's a car back there. And he's like, oh, why didn't you tell me? And he goes, and all they wanted was $300 for that car, because they're scared that it wouldn't make it across town. And we didn't even have $300. We had $150. We said, we'll give you $150 now. We'll give you $150 when we get back. They said, fine. And we didn't even have money to put new tires on it or nothing. He changed the oil, and off we went to Vegas. Well, that little car, that thing run like a scalded dog. We ended up, that was a little rodeo rig, but the lining in the top of the car, it was all loose. And so that it'd come down and it'd rub on your hair. And so by the time you got out of the car, you had all this electric in your hair go, you know, and it was like, God, didn't want to be seen in that car. And you know what? It's like God is going, I'm going to keep this car running. Bless God, you're going to get 200,000 miles on this car, because until you decide that, you know, you don't have to, you know, you can put up with humble pie here, you know. And so probably why it wasn't a Junkers, because of my pride. And anyway, so we rodeoed from Texas. Well, because we used to be in Missouri, so we was in the Great Lakes Circuit. So we would drive all the way to Wisconsin and Michigan, and we were on our way to Estes Park. And somewhere out there in the wide world of Kansas, the car all of a sudden went, poof, and all this smoke started rolling up out of the, you know, the hood and everything. And I mean, she dies, and we're just, you know, coasting over to the side of the road. And I'm like, well, we're done. I mean, we're done. And Ray was like, he sticks his hand on the dash of that car and started commanding, you will not stop running. You will run. Bless God, in the name of Jesus, I command you to run. And I'm over there like, I ain't saying nothing, but I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, okay, that car ain't gonna run. I mean, she's gone. She's gone. All of a sudden, he tries it, and that car starts, and I'm thinking, well, it ain't gonna go 10 feet. Well, it goes all the way to Estes Park, goes into Colorado, goes up the mountains to Estes Park, run like a scalded dog, and without doing anything other than commanding it to, in the name of Jesus. So we get to Estes Park, and Ray got a day check, and so that got us, next thing after that was, I was to minister there at Pueblo, Colorado for the National High School Finals. And so on the way from Estes Park to Pueblo, that car, it died. I mean, it spit the bit, it was gone. It spit the bit on the interstate, and it was gone. No commanding it was getting it anywhere. And so here we are out on the interstate looking like, I don't know what we looked like. It wasn't pretty, with a tacky looking awful car. You know, it was so, in the Texas sun for so long, it was more pink than red. And so we're out there like for an hour and a half, and people are going, I'm pregnant, and we probably looked like no telling. And somebody finally had mercy on us and picked us up and hauled us to the rodeo arena. Well, we didn't tell a bunch of people. I think we told Glenn and Ann Smith, keep your mouth shut. That's the way they were too. It's like, don't tell everybody your needs. I mean, people in ministry that saddle up beside you to tell you that, their needs and show you the holes in their shoes so that you'll give to them, that's manipulation. And if you want to slit the throat of your own ministry to where you don't carry the power and the presence and the smile of God, you just tell people your needs so that you can manipulate where to get your money from. It's not trusting God. And so anyway, there was, real close people around us that knew, but they also knew not to say a word. Nobody else knew that we didn't have a car to get back home or nothing. And so I don't, like taking up offerings or nothing at these kind of deals, because you have to battle that mindset that people think, you just preachers, you're just out here to get our money. Yeah, that's why we flew in on a jet, because we got it going on. And so I don't want to give anybody an excuse. And so I think we got like $800 or something like that. It was a nice gifting for us. And then somebody contacted us and said, would we come to their booth? They wanted to talk to us. All right. So we went over there, met these people and visited with them, and they handed us a check for $1,200 and some odd dollars. I think it was like $1,200 or whatever. And I mean, I cried, and we was able to buy that little Toyota Chinook and drive it home, paid for. I'm telling you, God will meet your needs. He will take care of you. But oftentimes, the road to your next blessing is paved with humble pie. It is. And if you don't lower yourself, I didn't do it gracefully. I hope I expressed that well enough. I did. I did not just gracefully humble myself. I pretty well fought the bit the whole way. But God will bless you, but many times the road to your blessing is paved with humility. And if you'll go and one thing about it is I never got angry at God. I didn't like it, but I trusted God. And I just thought that maybe he could have done a little bit better, you know. And he's grinning at me the whole time, knowing what I don't know is that this inner image that I got of this independent cowgirl driving this flatbed, 70 some model Ford 4-wheel drive, 1 ton and looking cool, I thought, and all of this, that all has to go out the window. If you're going to follow after God, there's going to be some low roads that you take to get to the high places that he blesses. This is Crystal Lyons, Cowgirl Logic.